Hi, I'm Leah Toro, and this is my second time recording this video because the first time my phone was recording and then immediately deleted all of the footage. So subscribe so I can buy myself an actual fucking camera. And pink sauce. Talk about pink sauce. So when I was originally researching and scripting and planning out this video, I was going to do this deep dive into the story of pink sauce. Like, I want to talk about Chef.Pii, I want to talk about how the sauce was made, its production, its backstory, all of its like minute little dramas and details. And I very quickly realized that this entire situation was moving not only super fast, but there was also so many details, like, about everything about this, to the point where I fully believe that because of the speed that I work at, by the time I got this video done and out there, my entire video would be like super outdated and all the information would already be in every other person's video. So I decided to instead focus on an aspect of this drama situation, I don't really know what to call it, that I personally found super interesting, and that was the FDA's involvement in pink sauce. Okay, so a quick little recap on the history of Chef.Pii, the person behind pink sauce. Veronica Shaw, better known as Chef.Pii or Carly P, is a 30-year-old caterer, business owner, and private chef located in Florida, Miami. In her early 20s, Chef.Pii worked as a bartender, but by the age of 26, she had decided to instead focus on creating her own brand and catering business, in which she founded Exquisite, a private chefing and catering service. Judging by her social medias, she mainly did some pretty low-key gigs, things like birthday parties or get-togethers, it seems, and her biggest booked gig, as I've seen via her social medias, because this is the only one she really talks about, is the time she catered for Trippie Redd's birthday party, which is admittedly pretty cool. And I've also seen a few times that she'd call herself a celebrity chef, and I'm not trying to throw shade or be mean or anything, but I have not seen her cook for a single celebrity other than Trippie Redd, so I don't really know why she dubbed herself a celebrity chef after one instance, but that's besides the point. In 2018, she started her YouTube channel that she posted a mixed bag of content on, from makeup tutorials to cooking videos, hair care routines, weight loss videos, all that stuff, and the traction that these videos got was varied, but for the most part pretty low. And she seemingly retired the channel in lieu of TikTok, where she posted her first ever TikTok in March of 2020. So much like her YouTube, her TikTok page was a mixed bag of content, ranging from hashtag relatable, please go viral skits using popular audios, or her just hopping on some popular trend to talk about herself and her life, as well as things like ads for her business and showcases of her cooking abilities alongside some of the events that she catered for. Much like her YouTube, the traction on these videos for the most part was pretty low. That was until June 11th, where her infamous Pepto-Bismol sauce made its first ever appearance. So, two terms that we're gonna have to get familiar with to fully understand this situation, or understand it as much as I've been able to understand it, is FDA and FDACS. So FDA, obviously, is the Food and Drug Administration. It's basically in charge of both human and veterinary medical supplies and, prescription medication, as well as monitoring the food of both animals and humans and its importation and, making sure it's of good quality, all that good shit. And the FDACS is the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services. It's kind of like the Department of Health, but also not really. It's basically has a multitude of responsibilities, but for this video, we're going to focus on its responsibilities on monitoring food and food-based services in the state of Florida, and primarily its relationship to, the terms and conditions of different businesses and explaining the licensing and the registration that people will need to go through in order to produce and sell food safely, because they're protecting consumers from shady and unsafe food-based business situations. So what I've realized from online conversations surrounding Chef.Pii's business is that everyone, for the most part, is under the assumption that her entire business practice is protected under cottage laws. And cottage laws, for anyone who doesn't know, is essentially the set of laws that allow for people to produce and sell food made in their home. So not an FDA approved kitchen, just your home kitchen. And I've found that for the most part, not a lot of her business falls under cottage laws. Like, let's look at Exquisite, her catering service. A lot of people assume that the food that she makes for this service is produced in her home and then transported to whatever event she's catering for. But if you look into like catering and private chefing services in Florida, they both are under separate sections. So they both have separate terms and conditions that a person would need to fall under in order to do either of these businesses. Like for catering, you need an FDA approved kitchen, you need a food service license so you can, transport this food safely. You need a lot of shit to be a caterer, which understandable because you're making, a bunch of food for people to eat. It has to be safe. But private chefing is like its own separate thing. You don't need a license to be a private chef. The entire condition of being a private chef is that you are making the food wherever the event is being held. The document was mainly in reference to chefing for a family, being an outsider hired by a family to make their food. But applying this to her business, which for the most part seems pretty legit, is that you are making the food on site. So no food is being transported by you. All the ingredients are taken, and before the event, you go to that event's kitchen, you make the food, you put it out to serve. So no food is being made in Chef.Pii's house. And I see why a lot of people assume that, because in her TikToks, she's shown to just be in kitchens serving her food, or she's just showing the finished product and plated product of, the food she's made for these events. But we don't ever really see where she makes them. So for the most part, I'm going to assume that she is making them, in the event's kitchen or at the place that this event is being held, unless she has a food service license and is then transporting the food. I don't know, that's a whole other thing, but you get my point, right? Chef.Pii's catering business is not run under cottage laws. It's its own separate thing. All this to say that a lot of people believe the same thing with pink sauce, and that pink sauce was something protected under the cottage laws, but it absolutely is not. For the sake of this video and for my own peace of mind, we're going to be looking at pink sauce under the lens of it being a cottage law food, meaning that the terms and conditions and rules of cottage law are going to be applied to pink sauce, because as far as we know, pink sauce is being produced within Chef.Pii's home, meaning that she is operating this business under the guise of it being a cottage law based thing. We're going to get into why it's really not a cottage law approved anything, and that this business absolutely does not fall within cottage law boundaries. But if the FDA were to seriously look into pink sauce and start a discussion and investigation of it, some pretty big issues that's gonna arise for Chef.Pii is the fact that this sauce is not being prepared in an FDA approved facility, the fact that the sauce is not a cottage law protected food, the fact that its labeling, discretion, and ingredients list is shit, and also the fact that it's not being shipped safely and properly. So on Chef.Pii's TikTok, one of her pinned videos is a little montage of stitched together clips about— oh my god, the screen went off! So on Chef.Pii's TikTok, one of her pinned videos, at the time of recording this, is a little series of clips stitched together with some inspirational sound surrounding pink sauce and, her business and how this is her empire. And within that little series of clips is a video of her making the pink sauce, presumably in her own kitchen. Here is the screenshot from the video. Here is her home kitchen. This is the same place. And she wasn't just making this when she was in her little soft launch testing phase where she was mainly using it for her business, because she shows that she has used pink sauce in her catering and private chefing affairs, which I don't think is a problem, assuming that she has a food service license, which she probably does. But this was around the point where she was mass producing the product to send out. In fact, in the comments of that very video where people are talking about the amount of oil that was in the blender with the garlic, she had pointed out that because she was mass producing the product, she obviously would need a lot of the ingredients.
Okay, but how else am I supposed to mass distribute a product? I am a business owner. I don't just sell products. I am a chef. So yeah, pretty much it's a lot of oil.
So she is making the product, mass producing the product from her own home. And in another TikTok, she claims that she isn't making this product from home and that she has an FDA approved facility warehouse where the sauce is made. And then she proceeds to show us a garage.
So we are inside of our facility and this is where we make the pink sauce.
And you're probably thinking, well, no, this entire thing is fine because of cottage laws. If this is a cottage law, food, she can totally make this from the comfort of her own home. Where's the problem with that? Sauces aren't a cottage law approved food. So if you were to look up the FDACS cottage law terms and conditions papers, it has a list as well as a Q&A or an FAQ covering the things you can and can't sell under cottage laws. So for example, you can sell things like baked goods, dry rubs, vinegars or flavored vinegars, honey, essentially self-preserving products or products that can go for a while without expiring, kind of products with a pretty good shelf life. In their FAQ, they also have a little list of products that you can't sell under the guise of cottage laws. These foods are not protected by cottage laws. And in this list is wet sauces. So things like barbecue sauces or pink sauces you cannot sell under the guise of cottage laws. Hi, it's post-editing Leah here, back again to redo another large chunk of a video. So picking up where I left off, wet products can't be sold under cottage laws. This includes things like dairy products, barbecue sauces, mysterious pink concoctions, and this is because these products require certain temperatures and have a time restraint. For milk to not go bad, it has to be kept cool, and that's not something that can be guaranteed in the process of making or selling this product. Sauce making is not an easy process. It requires regulations and licenses because the FDACS is trying to make sure that people can sell food with as little complications as possible. That being said, pink sauce is a product with no preservatives and contains perishable ingredients, i.e. the fresh fruit and the dairy, alongside the fact that it needs to be refrigerated the entire time. Every complication pink sauce has had is quite literally a showcase of every single issue the FDACS wanted to avoid when they made their guidelines. Speaking of guidelines, the labeling of pink sauce is straight up criminal. I'm sorry. The more popular issues with pink sauce's labeling is vinegar being spelt wrong, the serving size being altered for aesthetics, which ultimately skewed the calories of the bottle per serving, and some general issues with the nutritional value alongside the fact that the sauce had no label to indicate that it needs to be refrigerated. The FDACS has a set of requirements a product must contain in its labeling to be sold. Things like where it's prepared, the ingredients, if there's any allergens, as well as the fact that it's not prepared in an FDA-approved kitchen. Full transparency, something Chef.Pii is not big on. From day one, she just dodged questions about what was in the sauce or even how it tasted. In fact, she at one point had someone ask why the sauce was changing color because it was a deep magenta in the earlier videos, and then in later videos, it was suddenly this super light pastelish pink. And she replied to that comment saying that there was no changes in the sauce itself, it was just changing in lighting.
The color didn't change, just the lighting.
And the same or next day, she got a similar question to that. And she responded saying that the change of color was something she did herself because she was no longer feeling the dark pink color. So yeah, transparency is not her strong suit. I brought all that up because a TikToker named JP the Worst, who's a sauce connoisseur of sorts, made a video poking holes into pink sauce and its ingredients. A point that he brought up in his TikTok that I want to stress is that given the ingredients Chef.Pii has listed, the color and consistency of pink sauce as it stands, should not be possible. So pink sauce contains both honey and pitaya, which is the dragon fruit that's red on the inside. And the pitaya is where the sauce gets its color. But the addition of honey would absolutely deepen the color. Not to the point where it's as dark as the fruit itself, but definitely to a point where it would have some pigment to it. So to get it to this light of a pink, that would mean something else is being put in the mix to lighten the color manually. JP points out that the container next to Chef.Pii from the video that we covered earlier, and how it has something in it that looks nothing like any of the ingredients previously mentioned on the label. So it's entirely possible that Chef.Pii just isn't being truthful when it comes to what's in her product. So the chances of her labeling being totally or even impartially correct is very much possible, and even though that might not seem like a big deal, the labeling is very important for a multitude of reasons. It protects consumers from accidentally ingesting something that they can't, and it makes sure that the business owners are putting out products and knowing, okay, I've told them everything they need to know, so if anything happens, oopsie. The shipping of this product. Oh my god, if I could make an entire video just talking about the shipping of this sauce, I absolutely would. This is like one of the most fascinating things I've ever seen, in like a slow motion car crash kind of way. So you've probably seen like the endless clips and videos of people showing the sauce and its condition. It's coming to people, you know, exploded. It's coming with the seal broken and the bottle expanded, meaning that bacteria is now growing within the bottle, so you should not be consuming that.
Everybody keeps talking about this bottle is bloated only because I tightened because I had a leakage when I first got it.
As well as in like multiple stages of being spoilt because the ingredients were not being refrigerated or kept cool during their transportation. This sauce is not being shipped properly. And tons of people have said that she should have some kind of ice pack or insulated packaging, or at least some dry ice in the packaging to, you know, make sure the sauce is staying cool while it's being shipped to people. Obviously, she's not doing that. So alongside the fact that it's not being shipped within, you know, the proper temperature conditions, and then coupled with the fact that there is no preservatives in this product, means that this is just being shipped off and it is bound to end up in some state of not edible to people. And like I said before, it doesn't even have like keep refrigerated on the bottle. So some people were getting the sauce and then leaving it out on their counter because they hadn't opened it yet or something, because it doesn't say to refrigerate it. So people were just keeping it out and then risking their health by later consuming it, thinking that, yeah, this sauce will still be good if I don't refrigerate it. And I know a lot of videos exist of people getting sick or straight up dying from eating pink sauce have been fabricated or lack any proof because people just want some attention. But that doesn't take away from the fact that this product, given the way that it's being shipped, absolutely has the potential of making someone seriously ill, especially if they're eating it without knowing the proper condition it's supposed to be in. Honestly, to me, it's very clear that this entire pink sauce debacle is the result of poor planning and even worse execution. I mean, the sauce was basically conceptualized and betaed last year and almost immediately went into production. Everything about this sauce moved way too fast. There was not enough room for Chef.Pii to properly plan anything out, get some like actual opinions on making sure this sauce is safe. It just had none of that. It was a product very quickly put out. And I've seen a lot of TikToks and tweets defending Chef.Pii, bringing up the point that Black entrepreneurs, Black women specifically, have to work 3 times as hard as other people and be like 5 times as perfect in order to even get a monocle of respect. And while I agree with that sentiment, I don't think it applies here. Chef.Pii is a 30-year-old woman, and Chef.Pii has been in the food industry for around 4 years now. She should have some idea of proper food preparation and proper food storage and shipping. And if she didn't have any of that beforehand, she really should have gotten someone to assist her so she could really, you know, make this product the best she could. I'm all for understanding people making mistakes, but the food industry is definitely not one that you can really risk making mistakes in, given that these mistakes can result in someone being seriously ill because it's food. And I'm not saying that Chef.Pii is some evil woman weaponizing her incompetence with the purpose of scamming and hospitalizing the masses who are willing to buy some strange pink sauce they saw on TikTok one time. But it doesn't mean I'm in support of like all the weird people trying to jump on the hype train and gain some kind of attention and spread misinformation about this entire situation, because that's taking away from the fact that there are serious issues from the product and the way it's being produced. And I really do feel like pink sauce had the ability and had the grounds to be something great. I'd be lying if I said I've seen a sauce with the same like ingredients or color as pink sauce, and for all I know, this product could have been revolutionary if only it was executed a little bit better. For now, I think, alongside a lot of people, that Chef.Pii should just like cut the cameras and, you know, stop production and refund people who got their sauce fucked up their money. But if you're, you know, sad that you couldn't get to support a Black-owned sauce business, you should definitely check out Charlene Dejin. I hope I'm saying her name correctly. She is a veteran and has her own sauce company, and this is like the real deal. She knows a lot about food preparation and storage. She has a manufacturer, and based on a lot of her comments and reviews, this sauce is pretty fucking good. I'll leave a link to her TikTok where the link for her website is, but I definitely suggest you check her out if you're in the market for some Black-owned, pretty good sauce. I found her while researching stuff for this video, and I thought it would be a nice little inclusion to give you, I guess, someone more competent to support. But that's besides the point. Hi, so we're no longer talking about pink sauce, so I really wanted to just like take this end of the video to say thank you for a lot of subscribers. Like, we hit 1K a while ago, and I was like, shit, I really gotta stop doing my summer homework and get on another video. And I'm pretty sure this video is going to be pretty short, so I doubt it was worth the wait. But thank you so much for all the subscribers and all the comments and all the support. I hope I can continue to make content that you guys enjoy, and I'm really happy so many people like to hear me talk about things, because that's my favorite thing to do. I don't have an outro.
Maybe I should text back. You called, so maybe I should call back. I'm lost, like, show me where my friends at. I'm lost, show me where my friends at. She's all like, baby, we should go now.